Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to showcase the new builds with the Elite Skill 7 weapon stance. So here's the equipment. Basically for this build right here, you want to have a vampiric hammer with armor +5 or health +30, strength and honor. Then you want to have strength +1 +3, and then the knockdown plus an additional second. And then basically just clarity with sentinels, and then sentinels with the highest vigor rune you can afford. And then sentinels once again with recovery. And then you want sentinels with hammer mastery +1, and this is pretty much going to be the same equipment for all of the builds, just slightly different. Like it'll be swordsmanship +1 instead. And here are the hero builds I'm going to use. So basically I'd like to have Dark Fury. With this one right here, you're going to want to have Withering Aura and probably Enfibling Blood on top of that, because the weakness, you pretty much need, you know, the foes that you're attacking to be weakened, because it's going to make the build a lot better. So you do this right here, knock them down, then you can hit them with Renewing Smash 4 times if you have the Stone Fist insignia like on the helmet or something. And you can just keep spamming it over and over again. And I've tried this out inside of like Vanquishes and everything, and it actually works out pretty good. The main weakness is basically Wild Blow, taking away your elite stance or if you misclick and kind of mess up. But otherwise it's a very strong build, really fun to use, knock down all the foes. And also we have some Scythe builds. But that hammer build is actually one of my favorite builds out of this, and this is basically my favorite Scythe build out of this. So instead you want to have like tactics +1 on like the foot, and basically you don't really need the knockdown insignia, so you just get sentinels, and basically just a vampiric Scythe with health +30 or armor +5, whichever one you want. Armor +5 might be a little bit better. And basically here's the setup, just 6 Scythe mastery. You really only need 4. And basically you just go up here and you attack, gain adrenaline really quickly. And also note that I'm using heroes for all of this: Strength and Honor, Dark Fury, and Withering Aura, Splinter Weapon, and Ancestor's Rage. So just keep that in mind. I just put that there because like these are the heroes I'm going to pretty much be using. And I'll also be making hero builds coming up like soon enough. But otherwise you see you just keep spamming pretty much over and over, do a lot of area damage, and like this build's just really good. For most part to replace Warrior's Endurance Scythe for me. And here's another Scythe build you can use. I don't think it's really as good, but it's a little bit better when it comes to single target damage, and you don't need as much support from heroes, even though weakened armor is really good for the body blow skill. But otherwise you can see like it's really good, it's really strong, does a lot of damage, and the hero support helps out a lot. And like, you know, I just want the hero support there because like it really makes the build better to revolve your heroes around something like this. But you can make small adjustments for if you're going in like pickup groups or something. And yeah, so there's another build where you use Scythe and Hammer and you switch between them using F1 and F2. So I personally don't like this one as much. Like it's actually really good, but you have to switch between like the Hammer and everything. And the idea is that the Scythe you pretty much use in like bigger groups when they're balled up, and when there's a single target you switch to Hammer because you'll do more damage. But it's like, I just prefer just to use one weapon. I don't really like to switch weapons. So I guess it's personal preference, but the damage is very high, and you know, I'm not showcasing it the best because like I'm not used to really switching weapons, so I'm a little awkward with it. But you know, it is very solid build actually. Like it does a lot of damage, and it's really good. But you know, this is something to where it's like, I guess if you're someone who likes to switch between weapons or something, you're going to like it better. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but it is strong. And also here's a dagger spam one that also requires switching weapons, so that way you can gain the energy and then knock them down, switch weapons like that. It's actually like really good and really fun, and you can switch it up a little bit, add in like more hammer skills or less, like wherever you want to do. And like, I mean, it's fun and it's good, but I'm not too big of a fan of switching up weapons because it makes it a little bit difficult, but it's also good. And here's an alternative version where you have Golden Lotus Strike if you're going to use Assure and Scan a lot, so that way you can maintain energy better. I also messed around and made my own build that's just pure dagger spam. So with this right here, we have energy +5 on the daggers instead of like, you know, strength and honor or in the stance or whatever. And then you can also fit in like other skills if you want to, but you know, we're after energy management. If you really want to make it good, put energy +2 instead of hammer mastery +1. So you just go up here and attack like this. And this is pretty much like how the attacks are going to go. Like after using Golden Lotus Strike, you don't want to use Jagged Strike because it's like it's going to just waste energy. So you just do it like this. And the energy like management on it like isn't really that bad. Like you probably will end up messing up just a little bit. Or at least I mess up a little bit when using it. Like just like there, like you don't want to use Jagged Strike after using Golden Lotus Strike because it's just a waste of energy. But otherwise, like, it's pretty good. Like, it's not bad. It's pretty fun. And the damage is good. And there we go. And also we have this one right here. It's like a Conjurer Flame build with Sword. It's very good for like single target damage. But the reason why I don't like it too much is that the area damage isn't that great. But you can spam Sun and Moon Slash if you have Dark Fury like on a hero. Because that'll give you like all that additional adrenaline gain. And when you can spam that, like the damage is just really good. And throw a Splinter Weapon on there and you can just do a ton of damage. But otherwise, this is a pretty fun build in and of itself, and it's also pretty good. I might try to switch it up a little bit in the future, because I think it could be improved upon, but it needed experimenting. Because you could actually basically put the knockdown on there and then add Brawling Headbutt if you want. And also, I got these builds from PvX Weka. Like, I didn't really come up with them myself, and this is where I get like pretty much all my builds at, or build ideas. So you just come on here and you just click on something. And you get all these different choices. So these are all the warrior builds, and I just showed you how to get to them. And there's the dagger build that I was showing, and it shows you what equipment to use and what weapons to use and all that good stuff. And here's like the Scythe build that I was showing you. So it's really good for giving you like new ideas. Like I probably never once thought about switching between daggers and hammer, but then again, I'm not a big fan of it. So, you know, it's not like I'm going to really use it. But otherwise, like the hammer build on here and the Scythe build on here are just so good. Like they're so good. Like, you know, so that's why I think using PvX Weka is really good. And I'll have links in the description down below to all the builds and, you know, the build templates and also PvX Weka if you guys want to use that. So, yeah. But unfortunately, right now, there's no, like, really axe build out. But otherwise, this elite skill is really good and offers a lot of, like, builds for you. The main downgrade to it is that you can't really have that third PvE skill since it's also a PvE skill and an elite skill. But I would really like to see another axe build come up out of this. You know, I'm sure someone can make a good one. And when they do, I'll probably let you guys know. Otherwise, that's it for the video. And Dungeon is signing out.